The Dallas Cowboys have made two more moves as Jerry Jones continues to position us towards a late season playoff push, and we got to break them both down. What's up, guys? I'm Matt Long. Welcome to Cowboys Football 365. If you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, please hit that subscribe button. Only 3.2% of viewers are subscribed to the channel. But getting into the news for today, coming from NFL insider Ian Rappaport, the Dallas Cowboys have waived cornerback Kaiir Elam and signed running back Malik Davis from the practice squad. Now, Kaiir Elam, the cornerback, was a first-round pick of the Buffalo Bills a couple of years ago. He did not live up to expectations with the Bills and then later signed with the Dallas Cowboys in free agency. Started a couple games for us, didn't not live up to the expectations that Brian Schottenheimer had for him, didn't live up to the expectations that defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus had for him, and now Kaiir Elam is out of the cornerback room. A little bit of, questionable timing because our DB room has been one of the most suspect, not only groups on the team, but groups in the entire league. Our defensive backs have been giving up long bomb touchdowns and miscommunication errors all season long. So it's a little bit questionable that they would be cutting a player from this room. I know you want to make room for Malik Davis on the active game day roster, but taking out of the defensive back room isn't a move that makes a ton of sense to me. I know we just got Trevon Revel Jr. back, and he will be likely sliding up into that cornerback slot that has been vacated by Kaiir Elam. Trevon Revel had a pretty good debut versus the Raiders, but it's just questionable that, especially, this room is already so shallow, and then we're about to play the Philadelphia Eagles, who have two really, really good wide receivers, one of the best 1-2 wide receiver punches in the league in A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. And don't forget, they got Jahan Dotson from the Commanders last offseason too. So that's just another ex-first round pick being added to that wide receiver room for the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, whether or not Jalen Hurts is actually going to get the football to those guys effectively, he probably won't. But our defensive back group has made it look very, very easy to get long completions to wide receivers and make things happen like that. But while Trevon Diggs is on IR, I think the timing of this move is very, very questionable, but I'm not going to pound the table for Kaiir Elam. It's been obvious to me since the first game that he got here that he was not good enough to be, like a starting cornerback in the NFL long term. We're going to see if he can find his way anywhere else, but he's not good enough to be a starting cornerback. And no matter how bad our defensive back room is, having bad players is never going to be a solution, short-term or long-term. So we're now going to see if Deron Bland and Trevon Revel Jr. can hold down those two outside cornerback starting roles until we are able to get Trevon Diggs back from his concussion that landed him on IR. Now, over to the other move that was made. Malik Davis signed from the practice squad. Malik Davis is a running back for us. He's going to slide in as the backup running back behind Javonte Williams. Looking at what his stats look like this season, his third year in the league. So far, he's only gotten 7 carries for 26 yards, but he's only first started getting opportunities last game with Miles Sanders on IR, with Phil Maffa on IR. Schottenheimer's looking for options at the running back position behind Javonte Williams. So far, he hasn't been overly impressed, and I don't think anyone has been overly impressed with what Jaden Blue, our 6th round pick out of Texas, has accomplished for us this season. Jaden Blue is a guy with a lot of talent, but so far that has not translated to the football field. So at some point, your talent to actually get you on the field playing meaningful snaps, you're going to actually have to play well on the field. You can't just be a talented guy. So this doesn't spell the end for Jaden Blue by any means, but for the short term, and running backs have very, very short shelf lives in the NFL, for the short term, it is a bad thing for Jaden Blue that Malik Davis continues to get the running back 2 position over him. But it's going to be Javonte Williams and Malik Davis as the 1-2 punch at running back. Expect a lot of Javonte Williams versus the Philadelphia Eagles, even if the Eagles do have one of the best defensive run defenses in the entire NFL. We're going to have to make something happen. Everyone watching this video probably understands the power and the strength of our offense is Dak Prescott's right arm and the George Pickens, Ceedee Lamb combination, combined with a phenomenal tight end in Jake Ferguson, who's having a breakout year on the couple months after signing a big time contract. Usually guys, they get the money and then that's when they start slacking off. That's when their production starts to take a dip, but it's awesome to see Jake Ferguson going crazy after signing that big time contract extension to remain a Dallas Cowboy and remain with us and, try to go make a run at the NFC East here. Now, Malik Davis, don't expect anything too crazy out of him. He's really just going to be there to spell Javonte Williams, who is a running back who is now a couple years removed from his catastrophic lower body knee injury. But when you're a running back, those injuries stick with you forever. So he is, you would imagine that Dallas, we're going to make sure we play it safe with all of our running backs. Running back is a position where you're taking so many hits and just it is such a dangerous position to play for the running backs that there is going to be an injury occurring at some point. So you have to make sure that you have enough running backs on your roster to make sure that you have guys that are there to split carries with your number one guy. So no matter how good Javonte Williams looks this year, and he looks fantastic. He looks like everything that the Denver Broncos were hoping that he was going to be when they drafted him in the second round out of North Carolina. But we got to make sure we don't give him too many carries. The plan was going to be split it with Miles Sanders, but Miles Sanders is on IR. We used a 7th round pick on Phil Maffa out of Clemson. He's on IR. So we're running out of backs in the running back room. We're going to see what Malik Davis can bring to the table. Didn't do a whole lot against the Raiders, only got a few touches, but he is, you would imagine, going to be ramped up into this offense and will have an opportunity to earn himself more touches starting this Sunday versus the Philadelphia Eagles, a game that is very winnable for the Dallas Cowboys. The Eagles' record may be intimidating, but if you look at some of the underlying factors when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles, their plus minus and the third down conversion rate for the Eagles, they're both red flags when you're looking at a team that has as many wins as they do. I do think it is an extremely winnable game for us versus Philly this weekend, and I'm really not afraid of the Philadelphia Eagles at all. Remember, no one has gone back-to-back winning the NFC East 2 years in a row in like 20 years. So why would that happen this year? It's not too late for us to go make a run. Go see if we can bring down Jalen Hurts. Go see if we can bring down the Philadelphia Eagles and make a run at this thing in the NFC East. But unfortunately, we are going to have to do it without Kaiir Elam. But I do think Malik Davis playing running back is a position that it is more touches based and less skill based. So, I mean, you just got to be really athletic to play running back at the NFL level. And Malik Davis is going to be an athletic player. So he should be able to fill in that running back 2 role pretty well. But I do want to see what the plan is going to be for Jaden Blue going forwards. He may be transitioned to more of a special teams role for right now while he continues to develop his offensive game before he can earn himself some minutes or some snaps offensively and get on the field with Dak Prescott. But that's what I got for this video. If you stuck around this long, I appreciate you taking the time to watch it all the way through. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and go Cowboys.